I've just come back from the dentist and was thinking about jobs that I would hate, and dentistry is one of them. Um, yeah, I really can't understand how anybody can be attracted to rooting around in other people's mouths. Like, why would you want to do that? And I started thinking about jobs that I would hate, and another job that I would hate would be being a podiatrist. Um, I don't like feet, and again, why would you want to be touching other people's feet? I don't understand it. Um, and then that's all I could think of. I can't think of any other jobs off the top of my head. I was thinking back to how I ended up doing what I ended up doing, and that wasn't what I had planned. Grew again. Um, when I was doing my nurse training in the 90s, my plan was to complete my course and then carry on and do, I think back then you had to do another 18 months, so it was 3 years, and then another 18 months to become a midwife. That was my plan. I'd have loved that job. I really would have loved that job. And as I went through, I was on Project 2000, so for the first 18 months you did a basic training, a general training that everybody did. And then as you went through the first 18 months, you began to think about what you were going to move on to, which was a choice of child nursing, mental health nursing, or general nursing. So I would have carried on and done adult nursing. And I can remember one of my lecturers saying to me, you know, you'd be good if you did mental health. You'd be good working with, you know, people with mental health difficulties. And I said to her, God, can't imagine sitting listening to people moaning about their problems all day long. I can remember saying it to her. Just before we got to choose, I suddenly decided I wanted to do mental health. And I had no idea why that was my sudden decision. And but that was my decision, and I hadn't really done any reading. I'd been carrying on as normal. I was going to do general. I hadn't really done a lot of reading of the mental health stuff because that wasn't what I was planning to do, and the course was just it wasn't very strict. You could get away with blue murder, really, so I hadn't done a lot of the reading. So over the Christmas I had to catch up and do some reading, so I did a lot of catching up, a lot of reading, and then started down the mental health route, and ended up qualifying as a psychiatric nurse, and then ended up working with Mark. That's how I met Mark, and very quickly moving on to training as a psychotherapist, because Mark was a psychotherapist. Some of the other people I was working with were psychotherapists, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I ended up doing. I loved it. And I know I would have loved being a midwife as well, but I couldn't do both. I probably could have done, but you can't, can you? You can't. I mean, you know, I was a mature student. I wasn't that young. So maybe had I been a much younger student, I could have, you know, taken some time and then done some midwifery and mixed the two. Yeah, I would have loved to have delivered babies. So that's my story, and they're the two jobs that I would really hate, and plus one job that I really loved and one job that I would really have liked. And I wondered to myself, what would you really hate doing, and what would you really love doing, and what did you end up doing? It sort of interests me. So that's today's vlog. It's too cold to stand out here any longer. I'm going back in to make a cup of tea, and I didn't want to go out today. I didn't have any choice because I'd got this dentist appointment. I just wanted to hibernate. I feel a bit better now, and I think partly that was I wanted to hibernate and I didn't want to go to the dentist. And it was really only for to show in my x-rays and for a clean. It wasn't like I was going to have any work done, but I just didn't want to go. And that is sort of old stuff, isn't it? For some people, going to the dentist is just something you don't want to do. So I think part of my desire to hibernate this morning, apart from the weather, was that I was going to the dentist. So I do feel a bit more energized now I've come home. So yeah, time for a cup of tea. Mark's put up fat balls, but the birds have not found them, I don't think. No, birds haven't found them yet. Lovely to see the birds on the to see the woodpecker on the woodpile, and I saw a robin. And earlier I realised I'd seen a lot of like 25 sparrows, 20 sparrows all on the ground below that woodpile, and I couldn't work out what they were doing there. And I realised that, of course, both the robin and the woodpecker are chucking stuff off, so there must be stuff coming off that's suitable for sparrows. So there's going to be quite a food source for them over winter. So quite lovely to watch. I might have to clean that kitchen door in case I need to film through it again. Anyway, it's Monday. Have a nice Monday, or Tuesday if you're heading to Tuesday. And I hope you're all well and healthy and warm.